Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. We are going to make this really pretty card using the Sending Smiles stamp set. I am using the multiple stem leaf and just the plain leaves with no stems for flowers. And I'm using the small flower and the small center along with the birthday wishes greeting. And to go along with this, I am using the Stitched Whimsy die. This is the largest one. So what I've got is a Fresh Freesia card base tent opening. You could do it as a landscape opening as well if you wanted to. And a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white. So what I done is I'm just going to stamp with the Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to do the leaves. I'm just going to move some of these out of the way so that I have room to work. And I'm going to kind of stamp off the bottom of the card front a little bit. I'm going to do kind of one up here. I'm going to change it up just a little bit on this one. And just lay this back down. There we go. It's the nice thing about the photopolymer stamps. If you miss, you can just lay it back down again. So I'm going to pop that one there and put one up high. Keeping in mind, I'm going to be putting a flower here and a flower here. So I kind of need to be careful where I'm going to put my stems down. Okay, and I'm going to pop another stem in just at the bottom here, just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of fill in the bottom a little bit with leaves, knowing that there's going to be a flower there. So I'm just going to pop in some leaves along the bottom just to fill it up a little bit. There we go. And just maybe a couple in there. So we have our leaves all set up here. So I'm just going to pop this off to the side. And the greeting I've done in the Pear Pizzazz as well. And it is just, depending on where you're going to put your flowers is where you're going to put your greeting. So maybe I will do the greeting last. Let's do that. Let's place all our flowers. So I have got Petal Pink, So Saffron, Fresh Freesia, and Pool Party for the flowers, and then Sahara Sand as the center. So I'm just going to pop in a wipe there so that I can clean off my stamp in between. And I'm going to take my small flower, going to ink it up, and I'm going to pop a flower down like that. And then I'm going to put a flower up here like this. And I'm overlapping the stem just a little bit so that I can make it look like it's attached to the stem. Okay, let's pull out our So Saffron and let's pop in a couple of the So Saffron flowers. We can pop one. Oh, and if you get ink on your block, I recommend wiping it off so that you don't end up with a bit of a halo on your project or a line across. I did this one and then I realized I had actually put a line across my card front, so I had to make a new one. Okay, so I have got 1, 2, 3 more stems to do, and I think I'm going to do one in the Fresh Freesia. Maybe I'll do 2 in the Fresh Freesia because that's my card base color. So I'm just going to pop that one in like that. Let's ink up again, and maybe I'll do this one over here. There we go. And again, with the photopolymer, as you're putting the stamp down, I don't know if you can actually see it on the video or not, but as you're putting the stamp down, you can actually see it kind of joining up with the paper, so you can tell where you have good coverage with your ink. So then I'm just going to pop this one down like that. And there we go. Okay, so that is all of our flowers inked up. I'm going to put those off to the side. And then I'm going to pull in some Sahara Sand. And I'm just going to ink that up. And this is where I went wrong on my sample before, is I actually ended up with a line, and then I rocked my stamp on here, and I ended up with little Sahara sand lines all over my card. So we're just going to finish these off. And if you look at it and you think there's not enough greenery, we can always come back in. I have to do the greeting in the pear pizzazz, so I can always come in if I want to and maybe pop some more leaves in right here. So let's do that. Just pop a couple more leaves in like that. So we've got, just fills that gap up a little bit. And what I find is when I do these cards, each one ends up being different. The flowers go down a little differently. The leaves go down a little differently. So I am going to put my birthday wishes right in the middle here. And I apologize if I get my hair in the frame. I want to make sure that I'm stamping this straight. So there we go. There is our birthday wishes all stamped down. Okay, so now I am going to run this through with the Stitched Whimsical dies. Here, this is the largest of them, and it just fits around the 5 1/4 by 4 perfectly. So I'm going to sandwich that up and then pop it through the machine. So I want to say thank you to all the people who have subscribed and all the people who have commented. I can't believe the number of new people who have commented in the last couple of weeks. And some regulars, and I appreciate everyone taking the time to type that message and just say hello, or let me know where you're from, or let me know what cards you'd like to see, what stamp sets you'd like to see used. So I am just going to flat mount this onto my Fresh Freesia card base, just like this. Drop it down. And I thought it looked just a little bit plain at the top. So I just popped a few of the brushed brass butterflies, which I have to say slowly, onto the card, just to give it just that little bit extra. So there we go. There we have a really pretty happy birthday card using the Sending Smiles set along with the largest of the Stitched Whimsical dies. So thank you so much for watching, and we will create together again soon.